South Africa is one of the most sophisticated and promising emerging markets globally, and the economy is steadily recovering since the COVID-19 crisis. The Presidential Investment Mobilization Drive, announced in 2018, was targeted to attract 1.2 trillion rand in new investment within 5 years. The pledges received since inception have come from big and small business alike and have amounted to roughly 2/3 of the investment drive target. To date, some 40% of the pledged investments have already been realized, and of the 152 investment announcements previously made, 46 projects have already been completed. 57 of the projects are currently under construction, while 15 projects are slowly progressing or have been put on hold as a result of the pandemic. So, let us investigate just how these investments are opening doors of opportunity across various sectors, including technology, mining, life sciences, automotive, manufacturing, and agro-processing industries. Technology is an important driver of productivity in South Africa. Technology startups have a significant role to play in this regard. The Cape Town Stellenbosch corridor, South Africa's Silicon Valley, contains 450 tech firms employing more than 40,000 people. A number of companies in this sector have jumped in and contributed to the Presidential Investment Mobilization Drive. Let's go see what companies like Teraco are doing. Teraco has, over the 3 years of its commitment to the Presidential Investment Mobilization Drive, expanded their existing facilities in Ekurhuleni and Durban and built new data centers in Ekurhuleni and Cape Town. We've all come to rely heavily on technology to operate in the world. Vodacom's investment in expanding the 5G network through broadband-related infrastructure has made it possible for businesses, households, and schools to maintain their productivity. Such connectivity enabled, amongst others, the health sector to support COVID-19 virtual consultations and testing during the pandemic. Vodacom is also focused on ensuring that SMEs survive the economic impacts of COVID by facilitating the adoption of safe and secure digital solutions, utilizing advances in the Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, big data analytics, and financial services platforms. Companies such as Naspers have seen the importance of plugging in to support South African tech startups through Naspers Foundry, investing in various tech companies across a broad spectrum, for example in agri-tech and fintech, amongst others. The diversified structure of South Africa's mining sector boasts an established minerals processing ecosystem and attractive development prospects for green minerals and metals value chains, creating a strong case for long-term investment in the mining sector. Key players in the sector include Anglo American, Exxaro, Renigen, Ivanplats, and Bushveld Minerals. The mining sector contributed 8.7% to South Africa's GDP in 2021 and 47.8% of total merchandise export earnings. The sector employs approximately 455,000 people. Renigen has put South Africa on the global stage as it becomes one of only 8 countries in the world producing and exporting helium. The Renigen plant, based in the Free State, will be the first liquid helium processing technology in the country. To date, Renigen has met all the initial obligations, exceeded the job targets created, and generated over 800 million rand in foreign direct investment. Ivanplats, through close collaboration with the Mogalakwena local municipality, has supported upgrades in social infrastructure such as water provision, sanitation, roads, and local skills development. The Platreef mine is situated in a water-scarce area, and through a memorandum of understanding with the Mogalakwena local municipality, have pledged to support the construction of the Masodi water treatment plant, from which the mine will secure grey water for use in mining and processing. This means that Platreef will have minimal impact on the ground and surface water reserves. Community members will also have access to potable water from the Masodi plant. Bushveld Minerals is a low-cost, vertically integrated primary vanadium producer. It owns 2 of the world's 4 operating primary vanadium processing facilities. Bushveld Minerals is making steady progress on the Bushveld Vanchem plant in Emalahleni, which started production in 2020, and the vanadium electrolyte manufacturing plant in the Eastern Cape is currently under construction and scheduled for completion in 2023. Exxaro's Belfast implementation project demonstrates innovation as the first mine in South Africa with a digital twin. Anglo American Platinum's investment is evident in the development and ongoing testing of their fuel cell mining haul truck, which is on track to be delivered to Mogalakwena in Mokopane, Limpopo. Its major milestones include the completion of mechanical integration of fuel cells and battery systems and the performance of high-speed hydrogen refueling tests. We hear from the CEO of Anglo American Platinum, Natasha Viljoen, as she shares the impact of COVID-19 and the progress being made notwithstanding.
While COVID-19 infections and stricter lockdowns have impacted some of our project timelines, we remain on track to present our Mogalakwena expansion plans. I'm also particularly excited about the progress we're making with the hydrogen-fueled truck, which will be trialled at Mogalakwena later this year. The development of the world's first mine haul truck to run on hydrogen speaks not only to our market development efforts to stimulate demand for our platinum group metals, but will also play a significant role in cutting our carbon emissions by moving from diesel to green hydrogen over time.
Life sciences companies continue to respond to a changing global landscape and strive to pursue innovative solutions to address today's challenges. Two of such companies that have raised their hand in line with the presidential investment drive are Aspen and B-Braun. In line with its commitment, B-Braun has built a new state-of-the-art facility that has enabled them to triple their manufacturing volume, where a significant portion would be produced for export business. B-Braun played a critical role in the production of sanitizers during the onset of the pandemic, tripling the current manufacturing volume, the majority of which is being produced for export to SADC, East Africa and Asia. B-Braun has also created over 100 new jobs, a majority of which were recruited through YES, our youth employment service, and come from disadvantaged communities, with more jobs to be created over the next 2 years. We caught up with the managing director of B-Braun, Mr. Jens Papperits, and we asked him why the choice of South Africa as an investment destination for such a growth industry.
South Africa has been a growth market for us, also not just South Africa itself, but also the region, and potentially beyond that, especially for our sanitizers. There is a market even outside of Africa for us. So the main decision was the market, and we knew that we needed the efficiency of a new plant, the water and the energy efficiency that only a new plant with the most modern equipment available can give us, and that's why we did it.
Aspen is a leading supplier of the J&J COVID vaccine. J&J has licensed its vaccine to Aspen, who will be launching Africa's first owned COVID vaccine under the brand name Aspenox. The investment, announced in 2018, provided Africa with much needed vaccine fill and finish capacity at a time when there was significant vaccine inequality. The plant, based in Gqeberha, is not only a leading global manufacturer for complex sterile products such as general anesthetics, but has produced 160 million doses of the COVID vaccine for the African continent. The ongoing investment in this site will provide a tremendous economic boost for the Eastern Cape. Let's listen to the minister as he articulates the broader economic impact from this investment.
The next step would be and should be for Aspen to get a licensing agreement to not only make the vaccine locally, but also to have rights of distribution. And then thereafter to commence the work to produce the drug raw materials themselves in South Africa. So that is my hope, Stephen, as the next big milestones.
South Africa's well-established and diversified manufacturing sector contributed 13.1% to overall GDP and almost 45% to total merchandise export earnings in 2021. It employs around 1.1 million people. This is a sector with large integrated subsectors, including food processing, beverages, chemicals, motor vehicles, parts and accessories, machinery and equipment, fabricated metal products, paper and paper products, as well as wood and wood products. A great number of companies from this sector have embraced the presidential investment mobilization drive and are contributing greatly towards turning our economic tide. Two of these companies are Procter & Gamble and Sappi.
We have embarked in a very exciting journey of localizing the raw material first time in South Africa in Johannesburg plant. We have localized 100% of non-woven materials, and we are working with purchasing in sourcing also other materials that we can still localize.
The agro-processing sector has grown rapidly over the years, accounting for 2.9% of South Africa's GDP in 2020 and 4.5% of total merchandise export earnings in 2021. It employs approximately 245,000 people. And some of the players in this space are Dr. Utker and Into Foods. Two players stand out in this sector. One of these is Dr. Utker, who made a pledge towards expanding the production of pizza and ready-made meals. They affirm that through adversity often comes opportunity. Within the agro-processing industry, the COVID pandemic presented an opportunity for growth as market awareness on frozen pizzas and ready-made meals increased when the demand also increased. A new food manufacturing plant in Selby, Johannesburg was acquired and expanded to a new state-of-the-art factory that is 4 times larger and more than double the capacity of the old one.
Ke happy le ke robetse ke happy ke a tswa re e ke tswa ke ya ko Dr. Utker ke o bereka a ona ntwe ka nthibelang just because feme inkira hore ke thabe inkira hore ke be le motlotlo ka yona feme ke motlotlo ka re le bana baka ba phela bana baka ba ja ka baka la feme
The second player is Into Foods, whose significant capital investments in the Paarl facility as well as the world-class facility in the OR Tambo Special Economic Zone has meant that Into Foods has become one of the largest fresh food facilities in Africa, especially now with its 5-star green industrial building in the retail and food services channels. The Paarl site, with its large production space, made the production of biscuits, rice cakes, cold-pressed juices, pizzas and other Woolworths ready-made meals possible. The facility includes new dryers, new cooling tunnel, improved sieving system, and it is environmentally friendly, reducing the amount of waste to landfills through its sustainable waste management processes. The new facilities increased revenue and added 600 jobs to the 1,300 existing jobs. The automotive industry in South Africa comprises a wide range of companies and organizations involved in the design, development, manufacturing, marketing, and selling of motor vehicles. To mention just a few are Motherson, Mercedes-Benz, VM Automotive, and Toyota, who've all been instrumental in the growth of the economy. In 2020, the motor vehicle parts and accessories sector accounted for 6.4% of manufacturing GDP and 0.84% of South Africa's overall GDP. On the retail trade front, the activities related to the sale, maintenance and repair of motor vehicles accounted for 1.8% of South Africa's GDP in 2020, down from 2% in 2019. This reflects the impact of the COVID-19 related restrictions on automotive manufacturing and retail. The automotive industry is one of the world's largest when it comes to revenue. However, it is also the industry with the highest spend on research and development. Motherson has, through its committed pledge, contributed to the product development and localization of parts and aligned positively with the localization drive by further investment in additional plant and machinery, improvement of employment and the efficiency of manpower through continuous training programs.
I've grown a lot because when I came here, I think I was 26, I was 26 when I started here. And they gave me all the opportunities, also sent me to school to do internships of the job that I'm doing here.
Mercedes-Benz has announced that the next generation C-Class will be produced in East London. This investment pledge resulted in the local production of the new C-Class sedan. This includes the construction of a new body shop, an upgrade of the assembly shop, as well as establishment of new logistics warehouse. Mercedes-Benz is not only investing in its own business, it is investing in its many suppliers and in the development of the infrastructure that supports the production and export of its vehicles. This investment reflects growing confidence in reviving the South African economy as well as in the socio-economic development of the East London region. VM Automotive is a fully transformed 100% black-owned automotive supplier of aluminium and steel components. Based in both East London, Eastern Cape, as well as Roslyn, Gauteng, VM Automotive is part of the Black Industrialist program, taking pride in their strides. Introducing laser blanking as a new technology in the latest C-Class Mercedes-Benz W206 model is a flagship innovation. The launch of the local production of the Toyota Corolla Cross sparks South Africa's path towards transformation of the car-making business into a green industry success story. The Corolla Cross is the first ever Toyota hybrid car made on home soil. The 2.6 billion rand investment by Japanese multinational automotive manufacturer enables South Africa to be one of the only 7 global locations for the production of this hybrid car. With their skilled, productive workforce and competitive plant, the Corolla Cross will be exported to 40 countries across Africa, which will boost the African Continental Free Trade Area. Let's take a look at the presidential walkabout at the Toyota plant in Durban.
I'm particularly pleased to see that announcement that was made has really led to the creation of so many jobs. What you were showcasing here, that it's 1,775 workers or jobs that have now been created through the announcement that you made at the investment conference. The Corolla has been produced in South Africa since 1975. It is significant that South Africa is one of only 7 global locations for the production of the Corolla Cross. This is testament to the skilled, productive workforce and competitive plant here in KZN. During the plant tour, I met workers, as I was saying, who are passionate and committed, and I saw the value of the skill program the management has put in.
As we steadily move towards the 5-year timeline set by the President, it is evident that the presidential investment drive is successfully positioning South Africa as an investment destination of choice for growth industries. We have witnessed companies acting on their commitments and even increasing their level of pledged investments. With such commitment towards the investment drive, there's renewed optimism towards our country's economic recovery and reconstruction. It is with such partnerships that we aim to deliver economic growth to tackle the challenges of inequality and poverty, and more importantly, to realize the goal of Vision 2030.